never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
The round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup has given us some classic matches so far, and the action continues today with a clash of European heavyweights as Spain and Portugal go head-to-head. Lamine Yamal's stardom continues to grow, but can he produce the magic to spoil Cristiano Ronaldo's last chance at World Cup glory? And the story sending shockwaves around the football world over the last few days. Flo Balogun set to be available for the US men's national team after his one-game ban was suspended. A rematch of the 2014 round of 16 against Belgium awaits later tonight. And here's a reminder of today's schedule. Our game kicking off at 3 p.m. Eastern before all eyes turn to Seattle tonight as Mauricio Pochettino's men attempt to reach the quarterfinals of a home World Cup for the first time. It is Adam Hunt here in the Golazo Matchday 48 Nations studio with Janelli Farias, Troy Deeney and Mike Grella. Great to see you guys. It's the morning after the night before for England fans and Mexico fans. As the impartial member of the panel, Grella, I'm going to come to you. What did you make of England's performance? I don't think anyone's ever called him impartial in his life.
I never knew I wanted Ian more in that seat than him. I thought it was an amazing game ever for football, for sure. A lot of talk about the altitude before the game. For me, there's positives to take away for both teams. For Mexico, I thought that they were so good. I think that, like, if you watch them play, or if you're a manager or you're a fan, you watch them play football. And I can remember this. They reminded me of the Mexican team that I watched when I was young. Just on the front foot, always forward, always positive, breaking lines with the pass. They played at a high tempo, really believed in it. The atmosphere was incredible. But the goals they concede, it's like a story that kind of just repeats itself, like the small details in their box. They just don't track runners. First goal comes, the timing of it, then they switch off. The second goal comes right after, and then they do everything to get back in the game. But they missed the details, obviously, in the first part of it. And then for England, again, what do they play now? 10 halves of football? 10 halves of football, 9 pretty bad. I would say 8 pretty bad. Still not a performance where they controlled the game, not a performance where they did anything where you think, okay, this is England. But for me, it was a statement win because they had to win under unbelievable circumstances. They had to win with a man down. They had to go back and forth in a high altitude. So for me, this was a win where I see the team growing now. And now they start to get more dangerous as the tournament progresses. But again, still waiting to see England dominate a game, control a game of football. We still haven't seen that yet.
Janelli, how did you feel waking up this morning as a Mexico fan?
Man, it was difficult yesterday. It was frustrating. It was exciting for moments. It was exciting when they put themselves back in the game twice. It was also a very impressive defensive performance from England in the last 30 minutes. I think Javier Aguirre, he got a lot of things wrong from a tactical perspective since the beginning with the decisions he made, especially in Cesar Montes not being fit to play. And then the subs that he made, I think, were just detrimental to Mexico's performance. You take off Julián Quiñones, who is the best player, most goals, most assists, most participation in goals, and you take him off the pitch and you think, why? What's going on? But that aside, the football performance aside, I stay with just the heart and the passion and the commitment that this Mexico side showed the world. I think it's a big example and reflection of who Mexico is as a country. It's a place where things are very difficult. Things are very, very difficult, but you always find a way to push forward and to put yourself in a better position and fight for yourself and for your country.
And Troy, England have got Norway now, who had a big win of their own, obviously getting past the great Brazil. You can almost draw parallels, can't you, between Norway and England, who feel they've had to get past these tests. England winning at the Azteca, which has never been done before at a World Cup, and Norway beating Brazil.
Yeah, but if both teams woke up this morning, they'll be feeling completely different. Brazil are not the Brazil of old, and respectfully, Norway did a job on them. It was pretty easy from a tactical point of view, very simple in what they did.
I know moments change games, but missing a penalty, they grew into the game and got bigger and better, and they feel that they can probably kick on and do a bit more to England, because they would have watched that England game like I did yesterday and been like, okay, this is one of the best teams in the world. I think third rated going into this tournament for the bookies. They haven't put one performance together yet. They're never in control of a game. They give you chances. And if they're going to give chances to Erling Haaland, he proves he scores goals. So I think England will wake up today sore, battered, bruised, thinking, wow, that was
Jordan
a game
Henderson's battered and bruised. He's in hospital.
It's unreal though, isn't it? To not play in a game, get a yellow card and leave on a stretcher with a broken arm. It's the most English thing to do. But in the other side of it, England will leave ticking a load of boxes from that. We can be resilient, we can dig in, we can do all of those things. But I was leaving here yesterday thinking, was I too harsh? Ian was telling me I was harsh. You were kind of telling me I was harsh. My wife was telling me I'm harsh. And then I rewatched the game because I'm a sad so-and-so. And everything I say, I stand by. We didn't have to defend great because it was very simplistic, to your point yesterday, from Mexico. They got so desperate that it was going wide, crossing the box, go wide, crossing the box. Okay, well, we'll just plug the gaps. We put Dan Burn on, who had the most clearances, by the way, in the whole game, and he came on his 74th minute, which shows how important he was. We just don't control a game, and I just believe, as you get to the end of these tournaments, very much like the Champions League, that if you can't control a game, you're going to lose the game. And again, we've got a nicer path. And I said this to my wife yesterday, and I'll ask it to you, Adam, as an English fan. If I would have said to you, before a ball's been kicked, no one knows anything, just before a ball's been kicked, England's route to get to this point in the competition would be Croatia, Ghana, Panama, DR Congo, Mexico. How many games would you expect them to win of that?
Well, I mean, I'd expect them to win all of those, and I think you'd make the same case of Norway. And for me at the moment, and having seen the rest of the competitions, I don't know what you guys feel, it's anyone but France for me. You've just got to avoid France. I mean, I think they're on another level. They've proven they've got another gear compared to all of the rest of these teams, even though they were a bit more disappointing in the last game against Paraguay, but that's because of the way that Paraguay played that game. I haven't seen any other team, apart from France, that have got that fifth gear. And I think, to talk to your point about avoiding the big teams, at the moment, everyone else is just hoping to avoid France, and that's what England are going to do. In a semi-final, much rather be facing Argentina, even with Messi, than what we've seen so far from France.
Yeah, but I also think we do this thing in England, and we spoke about it last night, where we win, we're going to win it all. We lose, and then everybody needs to get out.
It's the life of an England fan, isn't it?
I totally agree, but I'm trying to be level. I think our job is to be level. I think if you were purely looking at the games played to date, and looking at this competition, even though the bookmakers will have England as favourites, Norway have to be favourites. They do everything better than England at this moment. At this moment in time, everything better than England.
Looking ahead to today's game, we've got obviously a brilliant one, Spain against Portugal. Grella, do you feel this is the first game at this World Cup so far where we've got two teams who legitimately feel deep down that they can win it, playing against each other? Have we seen one of those before?
Yeah, I'm trying to think now if there's been a bigger matchup. Probably not, where both teams would, it'll be a disappointment for them to go out this stage of the tournament, but both teams would probably look at the opponent and say, there's nothing embarrassing about it. Portugal haven't been good, that's for sure. They haven't been the team we thought we were going to see, especially with the two center midfielders that have 600-700 passes a game, the teams that they're playing. Obviously, Champions League winners as well, back-to-back. So we haven't seen that yet from Portugal. And then Spain, to me, seems like they're starting to slowly grow into the tournament, slowly figure things out. We also haven't gotten the best version of Yamal yet. I think he's been very underwhelming. Risk the ball a lot, lose the ball a lot. The ball goes into him, doesn't look as sharp as he usually is, doesn't have that extra gear like he usually does. So today's a game where now, all the soft rounds are out. There's no more, hey, we're building into it. Now today you have to hit the ground running here. Climate-controlled stadium. For me personally, I've seen the best games in the climate-controlled stadiums because guys can just run for 90 minutes. So this is going to be an incredible game in terms of how they're going to use the fullbacks, how they're going to attack each other, transitional moments. I think whoever controls the football will probably have the upper hand in this one, and I think it will be Spain because I just haven't seen it from the two midfielders of Portugal. but it's going to be dead even. The bookies have Spain as a slight favorite.
Ginelli, Grella touches on a point there, and that's really been a theme of this World Cup so far. The big guys showing up. We've had Messi, we've had Haaland, we've had Kane, we've had Mbappe. Yamal is one of those big stars, probably the only one that hasn't really produced his brilliance. I know he scored a goal, but as Grella says, he's been off that amazing style of play that we've seen for Barcelona. Why do you think he's not quite hit the heights yet?
I definitely agree with you. I think usually we're used to seeing Yamal get the ball and just magical things happen. It's always going to be a threat. That hasn't been the case so far. But I think it's also credit to just Spain in general as a team. I think they've been performing well. I think they haven't gotten enough credit yet because it kind of, maybe it's also because people just expect them to do well because they're Spain and because of the quality of players that they have. But I think Yamal hasn't needed to be that player yet. But I think today, that's going to change. I think today he has to show the best version of him. He has to show what he's capable of. He has to be on the ball and be the most confident player. And he's going to cause a lot of problems for Portugal if he can do that. But again, I think just Spain's performance as a unit has been, I think they've just been great. This is why they're the best defense right now. 0 goals conceded. And it speaks well of how they do things, not just with the ball, but off the ball.
Troy, there's obviously a huge factor in this game is the Cristiano Ronaldo factor. He's kind of confirmed, hasn't he, that this will be his last World Cup. I mean, if you were him going into this game and knowing you've got such a difficult opponent in Spain, the rivalry, how do you think that plays into the psychology of it?
I think he's dealt with pressure his whole career. I think he not only deals with pressure, but I think he adds more pressure to himself. So even the timing of this saying, oh, this is going to be my last one is...
Yeah, he lives for this stuff, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Look, the guy is a freak. And in certain people's minds, he's the best player to ever play it. Other people, it's been Messi. They've been fantastic for each other. The sad part about it is we've never really got to appreciate both because we're always trying to pick a side. Everyone's asking, oh, is it Messi or Ronaldo? But let's just talk to him. I think in this tournament, I think he's flattered to deceive. But I also think we can give him the credit of being 41 years of age, starting every single game, and still being fit and available. He came off in the last game, and it showed to me the first sign of what could be a problem. Because he came off, he wasn't happy that he came off. Thankfully, Portugal scored, and then he was like, oh, it's okay then. But I imagine if it had came off and they would have lost, I don't think we'd have been seeing this happy-go-lucky Ronaldo that we're seeing. But it's a fantastic story. He's been amazing. He's been a consummate professional in terms of how to conduct yourself, how to look after your body, live the best life. And I think once it's all said and done, we'll look back and we can dissect his career. But for right now, it's simple. Just win the game. That's all he has to care about.
It's all about results at this stage of a World Cup. As you mentioned, Cristiano Ronaldo is in the starting lineup for Portugal today. We can have a look at the quick lineups here. Grella, what do you make of this team? There are a few changes. Joao Felix obviously comes in here.
Yeah, Joao Felix, he's been very underwhelming the last couple of seasons. I backed him when he came to Milan because I thought, okay, he's got so many tools, but he just hasn't been able to get it done. Obviously, one of the earlier players to go for over 100 million, so big expectations for him. Good dribbler, good player. Neto on the other side, same vertical, who's going to cause a lot of trouble. The midfield three, as good as it gets on paper, right? When you look at paper, you're like, okay, that midfield three is going to dominate everyone. They're going to have a difficult time, I think, today against the Spain midfield three from the way they want to play. Fullbacks, Mendes, is he the best in the world? In the conversation, right? What he can do and sort of his depth today is going to be super important. Vega and Diaz as the two center backs and Cancelo on the right. And then obviously Ronaldo, the big name up top. Obviously you have Ramos, who scored in the last game, just went to Milan for 75 million, and they've got him on the bench today for Ronaldo. So we'll see how that all sort of pans out. I would have preferred to see that the other way around. Maybe Ramos starts the game and then Ronaldo can come in when guys are a little bit more tired and he can find the space. But again, we'll see what he can do.
And also Costa made some brilliant saves, didn't he, against Croatia? Some crucial saves in that game. Let's have a quick look at Spain's starting lineup for this big game against Portugal. Obviously, Lamine Yamal, you can see there in that right attacking position. Yamal, who's their record goal scorer so far at this World Cup with 4 goals. He's up there with Baena as well, leading the line. Ginelli, this is a team, I know we talk about them being good defensively, but they have all of those leading lights going forward too.
Yeah, definitely. They haven't had much work defensively. Simon has been, I think, really important in the build-out, always creating those 3v2 situations and from their own half. Laporte and Cubarsí have been, they haven't had much work. I think today it's going to be similar with Ronaldo up top. Ronaldo he's not very participative during the game, but they have to be just really cautious when he is in the box. And then up top, we know what Lamine Yamal can do on the ball is just hoping that he's brave and bold today. And Mikel Oyarzabal, there's a reason why he has 5 goals. Four goals so far. Yeah. You know, he can put himself in that race for the Golden Boot.
Is this a World Cup winning side, Troy?
I think just to go back a little bit to the point on Yamal, I think the reason he struggled normally they would have Nico Williams on that left-hand side, and you've got pace and power on both sides, whereas now it's actually very deliberate. So everything has to go to Yamal because they're not worried about what's coming down that left-hand side. Him not being up to speed yet, and also he came into the game that he looks like he needs a pre-season. He
had a bit of an injury.
Yeah, but like they brought him in and were like they were going to coast him through the games, and unfortunately he hasn't done that. So again, the bench of Spain for me is a little bit better than the bench of Portugal. But this is 2 fantastic teams, and if you're Portugal, let's see how fit Rodri is, because a lot of things for Man City was about how running off the back of him because of the injuries he's had over the last 2 years. So if it's Portugal, we've got to really test him. But Spain are a very, very good team.
Grella, of the 2 teams, and you talked about this earlier, that I think both of them have got more to give at this World Cup. They've had to coast so far. They've got to this stage. Which of the 2 do you think have got more in the tank that they can put into this game and then potentially further?
From the performances that we've seen so far, Portugal for sure have more to give. Like their ceiling is, they haven't even come close to their ceiling.
They're not even on the second floor yet.
But Spain's ceilings is way higher, and they can still go a little bit higher as well. So on the day, if both teams play great, Spain wins every time. And again, a lot of it is the DNA and the culture and the way that they play. The reason why they have a clean sheet is not because they're good defensively. They're okay defensively. The reason why they have a clean sheet is because they have the ball the entire time. And they take up so many good advanced positions with the fullbacks especially. Like you think about the fullbacks, you think of Cucurella and Porro, and you think, oh, well, they have to defend. Not really. They defend because they have the ball the whole time. Cucurella, 2 assists last game, Porro with a goal last game, right? So the way that they use their pieces is way more efficient and suffocating than any other team I've seen so far, barring France. For me, it's France against France. And then the rest of the teams are, there's levels below that. But I think Spain have a higher ceiling.
OK, let's get the betting angle for this big game. Then I'd say Buckets joins us in the studio on the back of an absolute heater last night. You're 6 from 6.
We went 6 from 6 yesterday, which is a fun but stressful way to start because now the bar is unrealistically high, but we'll do our best to go 6 and 6 again today.
What if I look a loser to me? Come on, bro.
Sorry, I'll get the Troy energy for this.
There you go. Let's go. It's all coming in.
It's easy. It's easy. I mean, let's just go ahead and get 3 more winners here. And I know Troy's not going to like this because we don't see any fun big plus numbers. He was on England 3-0 yesterday at plus 2,800 or whatever it is. We're being a bit more careful here. The money is pouring in on the under. We have seen a 30-point move on under 2.5 goals as people assume this will be cagey. It'll be tight. We're not going to see a fast first goal. I disagree with that. I just think Spain have too much quality. Bet number 1 is Spain over 1.5 goals in this game. I think Spain get at least 2, and I wouldn't be shocked if they get 3. I just think they're too good. And as Mike mentioned, the more they play, the better they're getting. They absolutely suffocated Austria, and it was lucky that wasn't a 5-0 matchup when it was all said and done. Bet number 2 is Mikel Oyarzabal to score or assist. Again, minus 115, it's a little bit of juice, but I was shocked to see that he is the 3rd most likely goal scorer by the bookies. It is Lamine to score or assist first, then Ronaldo, then Oyarzabal. And I think that's disrespectful for the work he's done so far. 5 goal contributions, 4 goals. He's been incredible. And if we can get him at playable numbers, we might as well take it. And then this is the tricky one. Spain to score in the first half at minus 110. I know that it's going to be cagey. It's going to be tight. No one wants to make that first mistake. But if you've watched how Spain's played, besides the weird Cabo Verde match, they have scored in the first half of every one of their games, and they've had 5 first-half goals. I don't trust Portugal to be able to stop them from performing how they're performing. So I'm looking at a 2-1, 3-1 scoreline here, but I think this is going to be all Spain today.
Interesting. Well, Grella mentioned the climate-controlled stadium for this one. Does that affect the betting and how you're looking at this game?
I think there's going to be more goals because you're not going to see that level of exhaustion. You're not going to see that stalling where someone gets injured and they lay down for 10 minutes just trying to catch their breath. This is going to be go, go, go for 90 minutes. And I think the controlled climate makes it better when you're betting on goals.
OK, good stuff. Thanks very much, Buckets. We'll wait to see what happens with those. Time for a short break here on Golazo Matchday 48 Nations as we look forward to Spain against Portugal in Dallas. We'll have plenty more on Spain coming up next.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready, do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. With the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchday. 48 nations looking forward to the big game in Dallas between Spain and Portugal. Spain looking to lift the World Cup for the second time in their history. They last did it in 2010 when they won it in South Africa. Will they be able to get past their European neighbours today? Let's speak to a former Spain player who played at the 2002 World Cup. It is Gaizka Mendieta once again. Gaizka, thanks so much for joining us. We've been talking about Spain a lot before we've chatted to you. Do you feel that this is the biggest test so far that Spain are going to face?
Guys, thanks for having me. I think so, not only because of the rival, and obviously I think you mentioned, I talked before, Portugal probably, if we look player by player, is one of the best squads in the World Cup. When it comes to play as a team, I think it's not really making for the best of the individuals, instead of the better for the group. Also, I'm doubtful about how the team is performing. I think they could still do a bit better. Hopefully not today. But certainly for Spain, I think it is, in the way the game have been going, rivals that we haven't. It's certainly going to be a big challenge. Ronaldo there. I think we know great defending crosses, where Portugal is not the team the most crosses to, but it's going to be trying to get Ronaldo connected as much as possible or as many times as possible.
We haven't seen the best of Lamine Yamal yet. We know he's been struggling with game fitness. He didn't come into this World Cup 100% healthy. He's been a bit quiet. What do you think is missing for him, and what are the realistic expectations for him in this game today?
I think last game was very good for him in terms of confidence and gaining confidence, gaining much pace, which is what he needs. And it's very difficult to replicate that outside games. Probably nothing else can replicate that. At this moment of the season, of the World Cup, probably rest and wait for the next game. I think mentally he's ready to be, our best player, which was the best player in the last game, voted by the fans, but doubtful to be the player that we were expecting him to be, but hoping that he can be today. He has Ronaldo in front. I think that's also a big motivation, and also the fact that everyone else is looking at Yamal like, okay, they are expecting Lamine to be this player that he leaves defenders behind, that he scores 2 goals. I think we know that yet, but it's getting closer to that best version of Lamine Yamal that we all want.
Guys, who scares you more if you're one of the Spanish center backs, Ramos or Ronaldo?
That's a very good question.
Very good.
I think Ramos, Gonzalo. I think he's a player obviously that is more mobile, he's dynamic, he can play or join outside the box, not only in the box. Obviously Ronaldo, we saw it last game. He took 2 balls, 3 balls to score 1 goal. It was disallowed, and then the penalty. But you cannot let him alone. You cannot keep take the eyes off him, which sometimes is difficult for centre halves to have a striker that is not making the usual movements. But certainly Ramos, I think, it will be a bigger threat for us than Ronaldo. I mean, that is a big thing to say, but certainly for us, again, defensively, aerial balls, crosses, I think is one of the weakest points in Spain has.
Just a quick question. Obviously, you played in midfield. This is arguably the 2 best midfields in the competition playing against each other. How, in this moment, how does Spain come out on top, and how can Portugal pose so much threats to this Spanish team?
I think for me, it's kind of simple in the way, as I mentioned before, Portugal is not, their system and the way they play doesn't improve individual players or doesn't enhance the role in the team. And Spain is the opposite. You see Rodri, it got better and better as the tournament went on. Pedri the same, was better last time. More dynamic, is still, I think, a bit tired, but he's still, being able to pass that ball fast enough to find Olmo, which is also key in the system. When we look at Portugal, we don't see the Vitinha of PSG. We don't see Neves of PSG. We don't see Bruno of United. I think maybe the figure of Ronaldo conditionates the rest of the players around him, and they don't let him be themselves. But certainly the quality is there, and at any moment can arise. Again, hopefully it won't be today when we see all the best qualities of Portugal team, because then I think it's an unstoppable team. But that's been for me the problem with Portugal. We're not seeing the best players in the clubs with the national team.
Guys, I ask you which player you would least rather play against, Ronaldo or Ramos. Now I'm going to ask you another one, hypothetical, with all respect to Portugal. In the next round, would you rather face USA or Belgium?
I think Belgium. Certainly, we played before. USA, they're playing well, they're defending, they're attacking. Is one of the hosts. It's not always nice to play against the host teams, fans, and a lot of things going around. But certainly, I think Belgium will suit us better. Like I thought, Croatia will be better for us, not Portugal. So let's see what happens today. Then I'll be happy to get that answer a bit longer.
We'll have to wait and see. Guys, just quickly, when we were looking at the lineups, and I think you can make this case for both teams, very deep benches, great players who are not in the starting lineup, and you've obviously played at a World Cup, you know how important it is to have a great squad, not just the starting 11. And we've seen in the games recently, particularly in the England game last night, you need to know how to use substitutes effectively. How much of a weapon is that for Spain, that they've just got so many great players that don't even get into this first 11?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm glad I'm not playing these days, because understanding you are important on the bench. I think players have changed their mentality a lot in that respect. But it's true. Games are very long, a lot of games. Not in this case, but also heat and attitude can be a trigger point. And I don't know, Mikel Merino, Ferran Torres, Fabian Ruiz, Gavi, so many great players on the bench that could be in the starting lineup, but they have their moment. I'm sure Luis have done the job, and they convince the players that everyone is important, which they are. From the bench coming on 10, 15 minutes, whether if it's to score the winning goal whether it's to defend the result, whatever is the mission for these players, is equally important than the ones starting. And that's tough to get the players to understand and get the players to accept it.
Last question for me. You just left out one key player there who I wanted to talk to you about, in Nico Williams. How disappointed has it been that he hasn't been able to get up to fitness and be the major impact? I think that's why Lamine Yamal hasn't been able to have as much time on the ball, because now everything comes down that right-hand side as opposed to coming down both weeks. How disappointing has it been for Spain not having Nico Williams available?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. It gets kind of the unbalance for Spain. Cucurella is kind of trying to do that, but of course he's not Nico Williams, which we all hope. He would have got better as the tournament went on, with the training sessions between the games, resting him in the beginning. But I think there's two things in this situation. One is obviously impossible to get much space without not playing. And that doesn't happen because he's not fit. And he's not fit because not only because he can't get much space, but also I don't think he's 100% physically well to be able to play for the beginning. The manager is not going to take any risk on playing a player that is not 100% fit, and that's why he's not playing him. So it's only left with a few minutes at the end of the game. Is the game, go our way, and we can allow that. But yeah, I think we are all disappointed as much as he is, because we needed him so much, so badly. But so far, we've not been able to use him.
Okay, guys, good. We'll leave it there. So many great storylines. It's going to be a brilliant match. Enjoy it, and we'll speak to you soon here at Golazo Network. Okay, time for a short break here on Golazo Matchday. 48 nations. We've got plenty more coming up for you next. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. They're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchday 48 Nations. What an atmosphere. It's going to be later in Seattle as the US men's national team returns to action to face Belgium in the round of 16. And Flo Balogun will be available after his one-match ban was rescinded from the last game. Here is part of the FIFA statement that was made on this subject. Belgium did decide to appeal the decision to rescind the red card and the one-match ban. But the request was rendered inadmissible on the grounds that the RBFA is not a party to the proceedings and as such has no standing to appeal the decision. Grella, is it just a case of, you know, we pretend it never happened for the US, we put Balogun in the starting lineup and we just move on to this game?
Yeah, I got a quote from a friend of mine who I actually hate playing golf with because he wins all the time, or he's just really hard to play against, this guy. And he always says he taints the handicaps before the round starts, so it's impossible to beat him, right? And he always says, never feel bad for winning. And it's the best quote, you know, because sometimes you win and people complain, you go easy on them, or you're up 2 or 3-0 and then you go easy and you fall asleep because you feel bad for someone, or you take your foot off the bat. Never feel bad for winning. You have an opportunity. Who cares? Who cares why it got rescinded? Who cares what FIFA said? Who cares what Trump said? Who cares? Balogun's playing. The Belgium appeal got squashed, right? So Balogun's playing. You've got an opportunity now to do something huge for the country, huge for the game in this country. I also think that if they don't beat Belgium, you're going to look back at this tournament and say failure. Host nation, and you don't get to the quarterfinal, you're going to say it's a failure. We haven't built anything. We haven't moved the needle. Because the 2002
But I think you'd say failure even if Balogun wasn't playing, wouldn't you? I guess what you're saying is that this is almost a side issue, isn't it? The US, will, given the way they've played so far...
Side issue for who?
Well, from the US perspective, they'll still feel like they've failed, even if Balogun wasn't playing. They feel genuinely, and given the way they've played, that they should be beating them.
I think if that was the case, the US would just use it as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I go back to the conversation we had yesterday, it's a decision that's just detrimental and disrespectful to football, but to your point, it is what it is.
And now it is what it is, right? That's another discussion. Like what happened and the whole process and how you appeal it, and that's another conversation for sure. But from the U.S. perspective, or if I'm Balogun, I'm like, who cares about that?
Shut out the noise and play.
If anything, lean into it now. Lean into it.
Absolutely.
Be the villain. If you're the US, we are the villains. So what? We're going to beat you, and we're going to beat you good, because this is not a great Belgium team, but also there's a back of your mind thing for the US. They beat us earlier this year, 5-2, and it could have been a lot more. And I know people go, oh, the US team was rotated. So was this Belgian team, by the way. So there's that in the back of your mind. Lean into it now. Who cares? We are where we are. We're doing what we're going to do, as you just said.
I would love it.
The conversation's somewhat different, but if I'm Balogun as well, I don't only want to score now. I want to score the winning goal. I want to score a hat-trick. I want you to be, this is why I should be playing. This is a moment for him to become the man of US soccer for the next 10 years.
Grella, do the US go into this as favourites? Who's your favourite to win this game? I'm not talking about odds. I haven't looked at that, but do you feel like the US are the favourites?
It's funny because the difference of Balogun made a difference. Like when he was not playing, it was 50-50. Now that he is playing, they are slight favorites in this one. Host nation, like Gaska just told us, is a huge boost. The midfield, if you want to say 5, because you want to put the 2 wing backs in there, the midfield 5 are as good as anyone has in the tournament in terms of closing down, in terms of tempo, in terms of what they can do when they don't have the football. Balogun's pretty good. Pulisic's obviously pretty good. I'm just worried about that back 3. That back 3, is Lukaku going to play tonight? And is he going to be the Lukaku we saw a couple of years ago at Napoli and at Inter even before that, where he's just unplayable? Because thinking about him go against Tim Ream or even Chris Richards or any of those guys, that's a big problem. I also think Belgium have the European feel of the game and the football. Like they're going to be able to play in different speeds and different times and manage different moments, which I think is the U.S. Achilles heel. I think the U.S. want to play for 90 minutes, 100%, and at times they get a little bit pulled all over the place. But I wanted to see, and I said this last week, I want to see if this pressure that they put on the football, that midfield 3, how they dog it and how they hunt the ball, I want to see if it applies to the big boys. Does it apply to Kevin De Bruyne when he's under pressure, or is he going to play out of it? Because you'll know in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
If they start playing out of the pressure, the U.S. can pack the suitcase and start going home now. If they can't play out of the pressure and they start to get nervy and start playing the ball out of play, then the U.S. are going to win the game. That's what it's going to come down to me, if the Belgium could play out of the tight spaces.
For people that don't understand what you're saying there in terms of that, it's very similar to the Canada game against Morocco. Canada go running, and they look good. They look, wow, look at all this pressure. But eventually, Morocco go, okay, we figure it out. But they lose 3-0. And that's a similar thing. I think to the Belgium piece of it, Lukaku, if he's 10% fit, has to start. Just because when they played without him, there's no focal point, and it's just so disjointed. It's all over the place, and there's nothing through the middle. And every time he's came into the pitch, they've been so much more aggressive, and they've had a focal point just to lean off. To your point to the US back three, if I'm coming up against again, you're a defender, you can talk to this better than me. As a striker, if I'm coming up against a three, I'm thinking this is going to be a tough day. With respect, 'cause I played against him as well. If I'm coming up against Tim Ream at his age, at his profile, I'm going, guys, give me the ball today. I'm trying to get in. If I'm Lukaku, in and around the edge of the box, trying to pin him. I'm going to roll either side, but also that's going to be our point of pressure as well, because he always tries to play those little balls through the line. And if you watch every game, he's given 1 or 2 balls away in those situations. So this is a great game of football. I'm really looking forward to it tonight, because I think it can be a massive step for the US, but I also think there's so much jeopardy on it.
Just quickly, too, like I said, if they don't win this game, it's a failure for me. I don't want to hear about the performance, we did this to Paraguay. I don't want to hear about that. It's a failure. If they win this game, you couple that with the performances that have been pretty good, and you say quarterfinal with the new format with these performances, okay, pretty good, because they've got people talking and the performances are good. We've never seen performances like this in terms of... Yeah, go ahead.
And especially with having Balogun on the pitch now. There's absolutely no excuses.
Correct.
There's absolutely
100%.
no excuses.
And they win this, then they got a shot at maybe going to the semifinal. Guys could just said it. I know he's on American TV. He's probably getting some coin. But listen, he said it. I'd rather play Belgium, because they think against Belgium the game will be more controlled, and it'll be... The U.S. are not respecting any of the rules. They're going after the game and they're committing numbers forward.
And there's also the jeopardy side on Belgium. I mean, we've always spoken about Belgium, this great Belgium team, so many great players who play at the top level in Europe, but I've never really been able to do it at World Cup. So and why I'm looking forward to this game, just like you said, Troy, so much, is because there's so much riding on it for both teams here to put in a good performance.
Yeah, if you're Belgium, it's like... You have to. No, but if you lose this game for Belgium, you rip it all up and start again. You have to rip every single aspect of this up, because normally you want to go, okay, where's the piece that we're going to build around? We can't be Lukaku because he showed you he's not fit and available. Can't be Courtois because he's past his sell-by date now. So where is that piece? Kevin De Bruyne in the same thing. So it's great. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think the States can really be, USA. I have to say it all properly when you're here.
USA.
USA can be in a situation where they not only dominate both with the ball and without the ball, but it's a foundational building block for the next 10 years if they win this game.
Team USA, isn't it? Team England.
I don't care anymore.
They're feeling good today.
Yeah.
Janelli, they're feeling good today.
Time for a short break here on Golazo Matchday 48 Nations as we build up to Spain against Portugal in Dallas. We'll be back talking about Spain in just a couple of minutes.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
if I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Open your eyes. Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my camp. What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchday. 48 nations. We're looking forward to Spain against Portugal in Dallas. Kickoff in less than 15 minutes' time. And you'd be forgiven before the tournament thinking that Lamine Yamal was going to be the star man going forward for Spain, but actually it's been this guy, Mikel Oyarzabal from Real Sociedad, is their top scorer so far at the tournament with 4 goals. Only Mbappe, Messi, Haaland and Kane have more than him in the whole of the World Cup so far. 301 minutes on the pitch and 4 goals scored. Let's get some more on Oyarzabal and speak to our Spanish football correspondent, Phil Kitramilides. Phil, thanks so much for joining us. I mean, a lot of football fans probably forgiven for not knowing too much about him. Obviously, we watch the game all the time. We've seen him playing in Europe and scoring goals for Sociedad. Do you feel like he's reached a new level here at this World Cup?
Yeah, he has. And he's done it through his performances, but also he's done it through people bigging him up as well, and not least his manager. And Luis de la Fuente is a huge fan of Mikel Oyarzabal. And in one of the post-match press conferences, I think it was after the Saudi Arabia game when they'd won 4-0, he said, finally, you guys are going to start speaking about Mikel Oyarzabal because he is so good. And he is. But the thing is, nobody talks about Mikel Oyarzabal, not least Mikel Oyarzabal. Like, he doesn't blow his own trumpet. He's very, very low key. He's not interested in any PR, any marketing, any interviews, any of that. He doesn't have an agent. He does not have an agent. I think that tells you a lot about the kind of person that he is off the pitch. But he's a terrific footballer. Maybe not a 10 in too many things, but I think he's an 8 in almost everything. He doesn't score unbelievably good goals. Like, he doesn't beat 5 people and bang it in from 40 yards, but he's a really pinpoint finisher. And he's just a terrific all-round player. And if you look at his numbers for Real Sociedad, they're not huge, right, in terms of goals. But for a lot of his career, he was playing either on the wing or as a second striker. Think of some of the main centre forwards that have been at Real Sociedad over the last few years, Alexander Sorloth, Isak. He was playing with them, not as the main man. Last couple of seasons, he's been playing as a central striker for Real Sociedad and for Spain, and he's had his best ever scoring seasons. And Luis de la Fuente has to be given real massive credit for believing in him, because he had him as a central striker in the under-21s a long time ago, and he's made him Spain's central striker. People were saying, Spain don't have a number 9 to play up front, and he said, no, we do. Mikel Oyarzabal is my number 9, and at the moment he's proving vindicated with his showings at the World Cup.
Phil, you mentioned a key word. You said low key. I'll be honest with you. Before this World Cup, I didn't know who Mikel Oyarzabal was. You didn't hear about him, but just like he is, I think, with Real Sociedad, that's how he is on the pitch. He's really low key. But this is the Spain side that I think plays to his strengths. What do you think it is about him that Luis Fuentes sees in him?
Yeah, I mean, his movement is terrific, so he's really good at detecting spaces, which often there isn't too much space when Spain are playing up against a low block, but he's really good at moving into space. He's actually good at drifting out wide as well. If someone wants to come in a little bit more central, like Dani Olmo from the number 10 position, he can drift out wide. We saw the pass. Remember the assist that he gave to Lamine Yamal for the first goal against Saudi Arabia. That just shows his ability to put balls in from slightly wider positions. Like I said, he's just a real all-rounder. He's a really intelligent footballer as well. He's strong. He's good with his back to goal. He doesn't look like a typical number 9 hold the ball up kind of player, but he can do that as well. He's just so good all round, and he doesn't get any kind of press at all. And I think, you know, the last time we were speaking about him, probably after the Saudi Arabia game, I highlighted the fact that his buyout clause is £70 million, which, you know, it's not huge for a elite number 9 goal scoring forward who's the first choice centre forward for Spain at the World Cup. And I think, you know, a few people have actually picked up on that now and said, actually, you know, 75 million euros for this guy. I know he's 29, but when you look at some of the other figures that get paid for strikers, particularly in the Premier League, it doesn't seem that crazy. But yeah, no marketing, no press, no agent. He just gets on with scoring goals.
He should hire you as his agent. Get a job there.
No, just Phil, just talking to that point, I think obviously you touched on it there. He's an 8 in every position, but I just wonder, with this Spain team, put Yamal to one side. He kind of encapsulates where Spain are at, right? They're very good at everything, but you can't say they're at the top peak performance right now. You can't say everyone's playing to their best, but he just kind of encapsulates, we get the job done and we do it quietly, and no one's really spoke about Spain winning this tournament since the first game of the season of this competition. But it just feels to me that they're all coming together at the right moment. How does it feel for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, remember pre-tournament with the you know, the odds, they were the pre-tournament favourites to win, and then that draw against the Cape Verde and then other sides putting in more eye-catching performances, I think saw those odds drift a little bit. But the message that's been coming out of the Spain camp, all the players have been saying it, all the manager's been saying it, all the coaching staff as well. We need to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to improve. And there wasn't too much delirium around that 3-0 win against Austria. They're like, yeah, we played well. This is good. We're back on track, but we need to be better. We can do better. We will improve. So I think the notion with Spain from the players, even from the press and the fans as well, is that they are building up steam. They haven't hit top speed yet at all. They might need to get close to it tonight against Portugal. But if they put in a good performance and a good win tonight against Portugal, I think a lot of people will be saying Spain are the favourites, because I think when Spain play at their very highest level, which they haven't come close to doing in this tournament yet, they're quite possibly the best team in the world.
OK, Phil, thanks very much. Looking forward to see how Oyarzabal plays a little bit later as well, seeing if he can move on to 5 or maybe 6 goals if he can get a couple in the game. Thanks very much for joining us.
Pleasure, guys.
OK, let's move on from Phil Kutramilides and the Spain perspective there. We can head to New York and join Nico Cantores in the city with the Spanish fans. Nico, what's the atmosphere like there? Are they looking forward to the game?
What's up, guys? Yeah, listen, Adam, we're at La Nacional, a cultural hub for Spaniards here in the city. It's been a non-profit for many, many years at this point, and they have gathered here to watch Spain. Everyone is very excited to see Oyarzabal, Lamine Yamal, everybody, to face their neighbors, Portugal. We're here with several Spanish fans, including Claudia and Olga. Claudia, how are you feeling today with Spain?
I'm feeling really excited right now.
Talk to me about your history with the Spanish national team. How long have you supported them? What was your first memory?
I mean, I've supported them for a while. I'm from LA originally, so I remember in 2012 against Italy, I assume, or 2014, in LA in West Hollywood, my mom had a restaurant. I remember watching the game, and I've been a fan ever since.
Nice. Where are you from, Elsa?
I'm from Barcelona originally.
From Barcelona. And what's it like in Barcelona with the Spanish national team right now, with Lamine Yamal especially?
Wow. We're really into the game, and we're all really excited, but we're really scared about Portugal because we know it's going to be a strong people to go against with. But I hope we really play really good, and we trust in Lamine Yamal.
Wow, muy bien Elsa, with her English.
We trust him.
We're going to come over here before the national anthems kick off because this place is going to be crazy. Muchachos, how are we feeling for Spain today?
I mean, we are feeling super excited. Spain is going to win our neighbors this time. So just waiting for it.
And what do you feel that you can gather with so many Spaniards here in New York City?
I mean, super excited to see the whole Spanish community together, but they're not only Spanish people, there are people from all around the world supporting Spain.
I mean, that's New York for you guys, right? As the Portuguese national anthem is going to start playing, we have a little bit of everything. Look at this paella, guys. Unreal paella and tortilla as well. I know Troy's going to want a little bit of this. Troy, I'll send it to you in an Uber or something like that.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
You're hungry.
it.
Nico,
So,
must be nice
guys,
to be you. They treat you well.
Not bad. Hey, I've eaten like crazy on this World Cup. A little bit of everything. So the national anthems are starting, and New York City, you can find any countries you want, and today it's with Spain.
Nico, just quickly before we let you go, what's the feeling from the Spanish fans? Are they confident against Portugal? Do they think they're going to get the result today?
I was confident in this paella, and it's really good. Yeah, I don't know if they're confident, but they know that they can win, right? That's how you go out and play these matches when you're a big national team like Spain and just like Portugal. They're confident in their ability. They know that they have supreme talent, and they can get it done. So everybody here is filled with optimism.
Okay, we'll leave you to your paella and all the rest of it and the tapas. Enjoy the game. We'll speak to you a bit later.
Thank you, guys.
Nico Cantor there with the Spanish fans in New York. We're going to take a short break here on Golazo Matchday 48 Nations. We've got plenty more coming up next as we build up to kickoff in Dallas between Spain and Portugal.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchday 48 Nations, nearly ready to go in Dallas for Spain against Portugal, two European neighbours going head-to-head. And let's talk Spain's defensive line, now the only team left in the tournament yet to concede a single goal. And when you look at the defensive statistics, they're pretty good so far from the Spanish side, although you can make the case that they haven't played the best teams really at this competition so far. Started off with that disappointing draw against Cape Verde in the first game in the group stages. Then they thrashed Saudi Arabia 4-0, beat Uruguay, although Uruguay were awful really at this World Cup 1-0, and then Austria in the first knockout game 3-0. Janelli, you played as a defender. What impresses you the most about the way that Spain go about the business of defending?
I think you made the perfect point earlier. The best way to defend is with the ball. And we didn't see it up there, but Spain is the #1 team in possession. And when you have the ball at your feet, you don't have to worry about having to track back. You don't have to worry about chasing players. I think Spain does it best. And when they do lose the ball, they have so many numbers around that they can easily counter-press and recover the ball. And they usually always have a player free to cover the ground. So I think Spain is given a masterclass on just how to play football. I think it's always been that way historically speaking, and it's keep the ball and you don't have to worry about the rest.
Are they the best defence at the World Cup, do you think, Grell? Or is it just the fact that they played weak teams?
Best defense, like if we're talking about them being under pressure and balls coming in the box or 1v1, probably not. Probably not. I think that also speaks to the point. It's just that the spacing's so good and the idea of what they're trying to do is so good, and it's so hard to play against. If I was playing, the last team I would want to play against is Spain, because I know it's just going to be a long day. And I think when they have possession, they're not spread out, and they don't play balls that spread them out. They play tighter passes in tighter patterns. So when the ball turns over, they're there to press. They're there to press the football. So it makes it really difficult to play against them. But again, they haven't had the most difficult competition, but they're tough. They're tough to play against, and them at their best is as good as anyone in the tournament.
Let's get to some predictions before we go. Troy, I'll start with you. What do you think we're going to see here?
I'm gonna go Spain in a very tight game, but I'm expecting goals. I'll go Spain 3-2.
Okay. Bye Ronaldo from Troy. What about you?
Spain 2-1.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Ronaldo today. And I'm going to go Portugal 3-2.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see.
What about you?
I'm picking Spain. I think Spain will do it. I think Portugal have looked disjointed with Ronaldo in the lineup. He starts again, and I'm not sure whether Roberto Martinez has got the gumption again to bring him off. So I think Spain are going to win the game. We'll have to wait and see, though. It's about to kick off. Enjoy the game. Thanks for joining us here on Golazo Matchday 48 Nations, and we will see you for more analysis and reaction at halftime.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in